We also wanted to get social media involved, and we wanted to take a question from our 12 News Facebook page. And this question will come from Sarah Tabor, sending this one in from North Phoenix. She says, vagrants sleep on bus benches and ride the light rail for free along 19th Avenue and Northern, which she says is terrible and lowers property value. And she wants to know what the candidates, would do about that. Bram?
Great question. We've heard that a lot. Kate Gallego, you championed light rail. It is now being connected to a crime problem or a homelessness problem. And just speak to that, please, and the larger issue of what appears to be increasing homelessness in our city.
Thank you for the great question. I believe that transportation does give people great opportunities to get to medical appointments, to get to jobs, to get to school, and I'm proud to support expanding transportation options in Phoenix. I was also proud to support making sure that we have security investments to keep our riders, the employees on the rail system, and others safe, and to make sure that we discourage people who aren't paying. We've done significant enforcement, and we've seen that that's working. We need to do more.
How real is this problem? How significant is it?
Homelessness is up 60% in 2 years. For someone in the business world, something going up 5% in 2 years is a big problem you have to pay attention to. And it's something that will be a priority for me and has been. One thing that I've really worked on, and I think we need to continue to do, is going after the drug companies for profiting on opioids. The addiction rate of opioids is something that we see every day, and it's really hurting our community. Our first responders have to deal with it. It's contributing to homelessness. Okay. I've also fought to make sure we have more housing options. So I recently led an effort that got a $30 million grant, which we've leveraged into $150 million for affordable housing. We need to make sure people have housing options.
Okay, let's end it on that note. I want to go to Moses Sanchez. You heard how real the problem, how Kate Gallego defines it, 60% increase. What would you do about it?
The status quo with homelessness and poverty is that since 2014, homelessness has spiked 150%. We are number 2
in Phoenix.
In Phoenix, and we are number 2 in the nation in extreme poverty. That is unacceptable. As the next mayor, we can do 2 things immediately. One, short term, we can reduce the regulations on a lot of these homeless shelters, the barriers that they face, and we can increase capacity. City Hall's not doing that. Long term, we can implement the First Step Phoenix initiative. My vision for this initiative is one that helps provide resources and funding while working with nonprofit organizations. Bram, this is a serious problem, and it continues to grow. City Hall just hasn't been addressing it.
Daniel Valenzuela, serious problem. Can you loosen regulations on shelters to take care of it?
It is absolutely a serious problem. I disagree that it's not being taken care of. In fact, what I plan on doing on my first day of being a mayor is continuing what I did in my last day as a council member. I personally have sent out 52 invitations to local elected officials in our entire region, inviting them down to meet with me at the homeless shelter in downtown Phoenix so that we can all get on the same page. This isn't Phoenix's problem. In Maricopa County, there are 5,000 people who are homeless, half of which are women and families who are homeless in Maricopa County. We have 600 beds, right? So yes, it is an issue, but rather than point the finger, we all have to get on the same page. So that's the first thing.
So what would you want this meeting to produce?
Well, I'll tell you what the first meeting did produce, Bram. It produced a conversation where you had local elected officials and business leaders for the first time, giving an audience to those that are dealing with this problem. And I'm talking about CAS. I'm talking about some of these facilities.
The shelter in downtown Phoenix.
The shelter in downtown Phoenix as an example, right? So another thing that I'm going to continue to do.
One more thing, please. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. So the first thing is bringing people together. It is a behavioral health issue. And we're asking our police officers to be social workers. Okay. So why not get social workers in some police cars, which is something that I've been working on. Okay. Right?
I have to stop. I want to give Nick Sarwark a chance to respond.
Understand.
Nick?
There are as many reasons why people experience homelessness as there are homeless people. There are people with substance abuse issues. There are people with mental health issues. There are people who have had bad economic times and have gotten evicted out of their house that they just got. What we need to do is exactly the opposite of what the current council has done. They have sat down in the council chambers and decided this group is going to get the contract to deal with homelessness. This shelter is going to get the contract to deal with homelessness. What we need to do is not bring in elected officials from around the region. We need to bring in the people in the nonprofit sector who already care. Phoenicians have so much heart for their fellow citizens who already care, and let them do what they want to do to help. Remove the barriers to opening new facilities so that you can have facilities where if you have a son who's over 12 years old and you're not allowed to go to a normal shelter because they won't take boys who are into adolescence, there's a facility for you. If you have a mental health issue, there's a facility for you. The council wants to pick the one solution to put all of our eggs into, that one basket, whether it be light rail, let's dump $500 million into one basket, or if it be CAS, the shelter, or CBI, the contractor. We need to not try and overthink it. We need to let people do things and set Phoenix free.